Breaking news for every Social Security, SSI, and SSDI recipient in America. There is a $360 increase on the table right now, and millions of you have no idea it's coming. And that is not all. A brand new version of the Social Security 2100 Act has just been reintroduced in Congress. And if it passes, it could be the biggest change to your benefits in decades. Plus, if you are a surviving spouse, there is critical news you absolutely cannot afford to miss. We are talking about your money, your stability, your future. And right now, decisions are being made in Washington that will directly affect your monthly check, whether you know about them or not. So if you receive Social Security retirement benefits, if you are on SSI or SSDI, if you are a widow or widower collecting surviving spouse benefits, stop what you are doing. Because the next few minutes could change how you plan your finances for the rest of this year and beyond. Stay with me. Every single word of this video matters. Welcome back. And if you are new here, welcome to this channel. This is the place where seniors, retirees, and Social Security recipients come to get clear, honest, and up-to-date information about their benefits. No confusing government language, no political spin, just the facts, explained in plain English so you can protect what is yours. Every single week, we break down the latest news from the Social Security Administration, Congress, and the federal government. Because staying informed is not optional when your livelihood depends on it. We cover payment schedules, cost of living adjustments, legislative updates, benefit changes, and everything in between. And today's video, it is one of the most important ones we have done in a long time. Because we are covering three major updates all at once. The $360 increase, the Social Security 2100 Act, and crucial changes for surviving spouses. If you have not already subscribed to this channel, I want you to do that right now. Just hit that subscribe button below this video. It is free, and it means you will never miss an update that could protect your income. We also drop new videos multiple times a week, so turn on your notifications so you never get left behind. Alright, let's get into it. Let's start with the big one. Let's talk about this $360 increase, because there is a lot of confusion swirling around online right now, and I want to cut straight through it. Here is what is happening. For 2025, Social Security recipients received a cost of living adjustment, also known as a COLA, of 2.5%. Now, for the average Social Security retirement beneficiary, that 2.5% increase translates to roughly $50 more per month. But here is where the 360s number comes in, and why it matters so much. When you add up that monthly increase over a full year, 12 months, that comes out to approximately $600 in additional income annually for the average recipient. However, the conversation around $360 specifically is tied to ongoing proposals and discussions, where advocates and some lawmakers are pushing for higher baseline benefit increases, particularly for low-income seniors and people with disabilities. Let me be very specific here, because I want you to have accurate information. There are proposals currently being discussed and connected to the Social Security 2100 Act that we will get to in a moment, that would raise the minimum Social Security benefit significantly. Some proposals would set the minimum benefit at no less than 125% of the federal poverty level. For many long-term low-income workers, that change alone could add hundreds of dollars per month to their check. For some, the increase could approach or exceed $360 per month when compared to what they currently receive. So when you hear $360 increase, this is the conversation. It is not a confirmed, already deposited payment increase for everyone. It is a proposed and actively debated increase that could dramatically improve benefits for millions of the lowest income Social Security recipients in America. And let me be clear, this matters enormously. Think about someone like Margaret. Margaret is 72 years old. She lives alone in a small apartment in Ohio. She worked for 30 years in low-wage jobs, cleaning offices, caring for other people's children, stocking shelves. She paid into Social Security her whole working life. But because her wages were low, her Social Security check reflects that. She currently receives just under $900 a month. After rent, utilities, groceries, and medications, Margaret has almost nothing left. A $360 increase to her monthly benefit would not just be helpful, it would be life-changing. It would mean she could keep the heat on in January. It would mean she could afford her blood pressure medication without choosing between that and food. That is who this fight is for. That is why this legislation matters. And that brings us directly to the Social Security 2100 Act. The Social Security 2100 Act is back. This legislation has been introduced multiple times over the past several years, and it has been reintroduced again in the current Congress with renewed energy and public support. So, what exactly is the Social Security 2100 Act, and why should you care? Let me break it down in plain English. The Social Security 2100 Act is a sweeping piece of legislation designed to do two major things: strengthen and expand benefits for current and future recipients, and ensure the long-term financial solvency of the Social Security Trust Fund. Let's talk about what it would actually do for you. Across-the-board benefit increase. The bill proposes a benefit increase of approximately 2% for all current Social Security recipients. That means everyone who is already receiving benefits would see their monthly check go up right away if this bill becomes law. Strengthening the minimum benefit. As I mentioned a moment ago, the bill would establish a new minimum benefit set at 125% of the federal poverty level for workers who had long careers in low-wage jobs. This is massive. This is the change that could bring someone like Margaret's check from $900 a month closer to $1,200 or more, depending on her work history. Improved COLA calculations. Right now, the cost of living adjustment for Social Security is calculated using something called the CPI-W, which tracks spending patterns of urban wage workers. Here is the problem. That index does not reflect how seniors actually spend their money. Seniors spend a much higher percentage of their income on healthcare, prescription drugs, and medical services than working-age adults do. The Social Security 2100 Act proposes switching the COLA calculation to the CPI-E, which stands for Consumer Price Index for the elderly. This change alone would result in higher annual COLA increases for Social Security recipients over time, because it would actually measure the real costs that seniors face every single day. No more taxes on benefits for most recipients. Currently, many Social Security recipients are required to pay federal income taxes on a portion of their benefits if their income exceeds certain thresholds that have not been updated since 1983. The Social Security 2100 Act would update these thresholds significantly, meaning millions of moderate income seniors and people with disabilities would no longer owe federal income tax on their Social Security benefits. That is real money back in your pocket. Student benefits restored. Under current law, children of deceased, disabled, or retired workers can receive Social Security dependent benefits, but only through age 18 or 19 if still in high school. The Social Security 2100 Act would restore student benefits up to age 26 for full-time students, a change that was eliminated back in the 1980s. Ending the Windfall Elimination Provision and government pension offset. This one is especially important for public sector workers, teachers, police officers, firefighters, government employees. The Windfall Elimination Provision and the government pension offset are two rules that currently reduce, or in some cases completely eliminate, Social Security benefits for people who receive a government pension. The Social Security 2100 Act would repeal both of these provisions, restoring full benefits to hundreds of thousands of public servants across the country. Now, how does the bill pay for all of this? The primary funding mechanism in the Social Security 2100 Act involves applying the Social Security payroll tax to income above $400,000 per year. Currently, Social Security payroll taxes are only applied to the first $176,100 of income in 2025. Income above that cap is not subject to Social Security tax at all. The bill would extend this tax to very high earners, those making above $400,000 a year, to generate the additional revenue needed to fund these expanded benefits and keep the trust fund solvent well into the future. Now, I want to be honest with you about where this bill stands right now. The Social Security 2100 Act has been introduced in Congress, but it has not yet been passed into law. It will face debate, opposition, and a long legislative road ahead. But here is why it matters right now. Public support for this bill is growing. Advocacy groups are mobilizing. And with the Social Security Trust Fund projected to face funding shortfalls in the coming decade, Congress is under increasing pressure to act. The more people who are informed and engaged, the more pressure builds on lawmakers to move this forward. And that is exactly why videos like this one exist, to keep you informed, to make sure your voice is part of this conversation. Now let's talk about surviving spouses, because this is a group of Social Security recipients who are often overlooked, underserved, and deeply impacted by the current rules around benefits. If you are a widow or widower, or if you have a spouse and you want to plan ahead, pay very close attention to this section. Here is the current situation. When a spouse dies, the surviving spouse is generally entitled to receive a survivor benefit based on the deceased spouse's Social Security record, but only if that amount is higher than what the survivor is already receiving on their own record. In other words, you receive the higher of the two benefits, not both. And here is where a painful reality sets in for millions of surviving spouses. When one spouse dies, the household loses one of the two Social Security checks entirely. For couples who are both receiving benefits, that can mean a sudden and dramatic drop in monthly income, sometimes losing $1,000, $2,500 or more per month, while their expenses, including housing and healthcare, remain largely the same. This is called the survivor's penalty, and it causes real financial hardship for millions of older Americans every single year. Now, here is the good news. The Social Security 2100 Act addresses this directly. The bill includes a provision that would increase survivor benefits by allowing the surviving spouse to receive 75% of the combined benefit that both spouses were receiving before the death. Let me give you an example so this is crystal clear. Let's say Robert and Dorothy are both retired. Robert receives $1,800 per month in Social Security benefits. Dorothy receives $1,200 per month. Together, they bring in $3,000 a month. Under current law, if Robert passes away first, Dorothy keeps only her own benefit of $2,200, unless Robert's benefit is higher, in which case she steps up to $1,800. Either way, the household goes from $3,000 a month to $1,800 a month. That is a $1,200 drop in monthly income overnight. Under the Social Security 2100 Act proposal, Dorothy could receive 75% of the combined $3,000, which would be $2,250 per month. That is $450 more per month than she currently receives under existing law. For Dorothy, that difference means she can stay in her home. It means she can afford her medications. It means she does not have to call her children in a panic because she cannot make ends meet after losing her husband. That is the human reality behind these numbers. And this is why surviving spouse advocates have been pushing for this change for years. Beyond the Social Security 2100 Act, there are also broader conversations happening in Congress about improving access to survivor benefits for non-traditional families, including long-term partners who may not have been legally married, and for caregivers who left the workforce to raise children or care for disabled family members, which often results in lower Social Security benefits of their own. These conversations are ongoing, and we will continue to cover them right here on this channel. If you are a surviving spouse or approaching retirement age, and you want to make sure you are maximizing your survivor benefits, there are a few important steps you should be taking right now. We will cover those in the next section. Okay, now that you understand what is happening, let's talk about what you should be doing right now to protect yourself and your benefits. Step 1. Check your Social Security statement. Go to SSA.gov and log into your My Social Security account. Review your earnings record and your projected benefit amounts. Make sure everything is accurate, because errors in your earnings record can reduce your benefit for life. If you have never set up a My Social Security account, do it today. It is free, it is secure, and it gives you a complete picture of your Social Security record. Step 2. Understand your survivor benefit options before you need them. If you are married, talk to the Social Security Administration or a qualified benefits counselor about how survivor benefits would work for your household. One of the most powerful decisions a couple can make is for the higher earning spouse to delay claiming Social Security as long as possible, up to age 70. Why? Because the higher that benefit amount, the higher the survivor benefit will be for the spouse who lives longer. This is a planning strategy that can literally be worth tens of thousands of dollars over a lifetime, and most people have never heard of it. Step 3. Track the Social Security 2100 Act. This legislation is moving. Whether it passes in its current form or not, the political pressure around Social Security reform is building. Stay informed. Know who your representatives are. Contact them and let them know where you stand. Your voice matters, especially on something this important. Step 4. Budget for the current COLA. If your 2025 COLA increase has already been applied to your benefit, take a look at your updated monthly amount and revise your household budget accordingly. Even a $50 or $60 monthly increase can make a meaningful difference if you plan for it intentionally, putting it toward medical costs, savings, or paying down debt. Step 5. Beware of scams. Whenever there is news about Social Security changes, scammers take advantage of people's uncertainty. They will call you, email you, or even show up at your door claiming to help you get a bigger benefit for a fee. The Social Security Administration will never call you and demand payment or personal information over the phone. If you get a call like that, hang up. Report it to the SSA at 1-800-772-1213. Protect your information. Protect your benefits. Listen, I know how stressful it can be to follow all of these changes. Social Security rules are complicated. Congress is always debating something. Payment schedules shift. New bills get introduced. It can feel overwhelming. That is exactly why this channel exists. We are here to be your guide, to take all of this complicated, sometimes scary information and break it down into clear, simple language that you can actually use to protect yourself and your family. Every week, we are watching what is happening in Washington. We are reading the legislation. We are tracking the payment schedules. We are covering the COLA updates, the SSI changes, the SSDI news, and everything in between. And we bring it straight to you for free right here on this channel. So if you have not subscribed yet, please do it right now. Just hit that subscribe button. It takes 1 second, and it means you will always know what is happening with your benefits before it affects your paycheck. And if you found this video helpful, please share it with someone you care about, a parent, a grandparent, a friend who is on Social Security. You might be sharing information that changes their financial life. Leave a comment below and tell me, what part of today's update was most important to you? Was it the $360 increase? The Social Security 2100 Act? The surviving spouse changes? I read every single comment, and your questions and feedback help me know what to cover next. Let's bring it all together before we go. Here is what you need to remember from today's video. First, the $360 increase is connected to legislative proposals, particularly provisions within the Social Security 2100 Act, that would significantly raise the minimum benefit for low-income, long-career workers. It is not yet law, but it is being actively fought for right now. Second, the Social Security 2100 Act has been reintroduced in Congress. If passed, it would raise benefits across the board, improve COLA calculations for seniors, eliminate taxes on benefits for most recipients, restore student benefits, repeal the WEP and GPO, and extend the payroll tax to high earners to fund the Social Security Trust Fund long-term. Third, surviving spouses face a significant financial drop when a partner dies. The Social Security 2100 Act includes provisions to reduce this impact by providing 75% of the combined benefit, a change that could mean hundreds of additional dollars per month for millions of widows and widowers. The bottom line is this: there is real momentum right now around improving Social Security for the people who need it most. And staying informed, understanding what is being proposed, what is changing, and what you can do is the most powerful thing you can do to protect yourself. You have worked hard. You have paid into this system. You deserve to receive everything you are entitled to, and then some. We will keep watching. We will keep reporting. And we will keep fighting to make sure you have the information you need. Thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourself, and we will see you in the next video.